Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 35 of the West Marches. Sorry about the delay. They never actually showed up for me, so cool. But thank you for being patient, and I am super stoked to play today. For those of you who are in the preparation that I ran this morning on my own stream, I am so excited about today's episode. I'm really stoked. It's going to be super cool.
Yeah, I was there. It was great. I can't wait.
Yeah, yep. I was like, hey, Ello, what do you think we should do? And he was like, oh, you should put like a big pile of gold right there. I was like, yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so I want to activate superpowers at this point. So, yeah.
Cool. Oh, look at that. Like the city just splits apart. It turns into a dragon, and you're riding it now. Oh, my God. How did you know about that, Ello?
Twist ending.
Yep, super
Until
cool.
he rides off into the sunset, never to be heard from again.
Totally.
Typical Stephen Lumpkin pay-to-win bullshit.
Yep, definitely. That's what it is. Actually, I should totally like set up PayPal donations from my players and be like, oh, you want to just like guarantee that a roll goes your way? Like what? Like 99 cents.
Dies?
I didn't think it was possible for you to be a worse human being than you are, but here it is. Congratulations.
All I had to do was tweet out his stream a few times, and it was cool. It was good.
Well, as gotta get that exposure, right? That's what it's all about. So how's everybody doing today? Adam, what have you been up to?
I've been role-playing, man. This is my 5th of 6 games this week, so lots of RPG stuff for me. Yeah. I had and then also like extra stuff, right? Like we did that hack attack, which was super fun. And I got Star Wars tomorrow. We had a hell of an episode of Swan Song this week.
Yes, we did. So there's still the spoiler curtain is still drawn on the 50th episode of Swan Song. So please try not to spoil anything in chat. Tomorrow the spoiler curtain lifts.
We will raise the curtain, and then everybody can cry publicly about what may or may not have happened.
Yep.
But yeah, me and Ryan worked long and hard on the script for that one, so I'm really happy that we finally got this.
That was really good. I'm glad we had Ryan's skills there for that.
Yep. And I've been playing Dark Souls too. In addition, not the second one because fuck that game. But Dark Souls, as I know, Sam, you also have. But I've been doing it on easy mode. I've just been like sunbroing my way through the game like a nub.
Oh no, you've been like co-oping the whole way?
It's really fun though. It's super fun, especially when some asshole invades you and you got 4 of your homeboys up there and you're just like, oh, what's up, red guy? You're toast. And they just flee. They flee in terror, and then you just kill them, and it feels
That's
so
amazing.
good.
I've been actually.
I'm that guy. I'm playing a solo. I know you're that guy. I'm doing an off-stream solo like hard mode run because I don't want to sit on stream for 2 hours trying to kill the same boss over and over. But it's weird how it's like very granular the difficulty and how it's like just built into the game. Like you don't make it. There's no slider. You just decide whether to play it on hard mode or not.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's God. I would. I
saw you
so
in my
many
stream be like, I can't watch. I'm gonna play someday. Bye.
Yep. I really wanted to watch your stream because I love watching Souls games and I love watching you. And I was like, I can't do it. But no, I would love to just get like 3 other designers on a Twitch call sometime and just like talk about the design of Dark Souls.
You gotta talk to John Harper. John Harper's obsessed with Dark Souls.
Great. Yep, he can definitely be one of them. I'll get one of my buddies over here to join us, and then we'll just get someone else. It's so good.
Sam, what's your Dark Souls experience looking like? You go fucking hard on games when you are into them. Like I feel like you're doing the thing you did with Ark, where it's like it's been 3 days and I've played 62 hours of this game.
Yeah. I did like 60 hours in the last 4 days on stream, but it was good. It was good. I actually beat it yesterday, and then spent about 6 hours just doing PvP, and then started my second character. So
sweet.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Right now, I'll probably have like 10 by the time I'm done.
Yeah.
If that.
How's the new game plus on that? Has anybody tried it?
I mean,
Who did I see streaming it the other day? I think Dan's Gaming was streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is it any good?
Yeah, I mean, it keeps the challenge going for sure.
I don't know. I haven't heard a lot about it. Most of the people that played like number 2, yeah, JP didn't like it. I know that like most people that play number 2, they have done New Game Plus like several New Game Plus, and have had still a lot of fun with it. But I haven't heard a lot about New Game Plus for Dark Souls 3, so it kind of makes me worried. Like, most people have said, I'm starting a new character, or like doing a new design. Like, not very many people have been like, I'm continuing on my fourth run, you know?
I think there's like a lot of choice in how you build your character. Yeah,
they've added like there's way more depth to like sorceries, faith, pyromancy. Like they've expanded all those branches, so you can go as far into them as you want. So there's just like way more builds.
Yeah. No, that's good. Because it always felt like the ranged stuff was always just a little bit less supported in Dark Souls, and it felt like if you went that way, you were kind of not really playing the game that was the core design of the game, is all the melee combat you get into with the guys. But I'm glad they pushed it further for DS3.
Yeah, it's been really fun. I think it's a very well designed game.
Awesome. I'm excited. I've still been playing through Bloodborne. I'm very close to the end, I think. I'm in the Nightmare of Mensis, and I've actually been PvPing a lot in there, just like randomly, because apparently it's a popular PvP zone and there's bell ringing women everywhere. So like every time I get invaded, like from playing Dark Souls 1 and being like a complete noob to Dark Souls, I'm terrified every time I get invaded. I'm just like, oh shit, here comes a guy and he's going to be like 20 levels higher than me and he's going to just murder the shit out of me with like some terrible weapon I've never seen. Every time I get invaded in Bloodborne, like he comes up, he waits for me to kill the things that I'm killing. He like salutes me. I salute him back. Like I drink my potions, I salute him back, and then we like actually get into a fight. And I think I've won like every one of them except for one where I ran into a group of mobs while I was fighting him. And I'm like, this is not the usual experience.
It's not like that. It's not like that in Dark Souls 3 right now. Right now, it's like someone invades and then tries to drag you into a bunch of mobs so they kill you, and like it's kind of a shit show.
They changed it so that it's not just your level that determines how they can invade. It's also like the amount of pluses on your weapon. So if you only have like a +2 weapon, then you can only be invaded by people with a +2 weapon or less.
All right.
So like it keeps it on a level playing. You're never going to get like your shit rocked, basically.
That's good.
Until you get to like +10.
I don't know. I probably would. I haven't played yet. I'd probably still get my shit rocked because I've never played a Dark Souls game.
Oh yeah, you'd get your shit rocked, yeah.
I think they've done a lot of development to make invasions feel more balanced, because I think in the earlier games it really was a problem. Like you would get invaded by people dozens of levels higher than you and they just destroy you.
Well, that was what the Rat King was for, right? You could just bring him into your rat lair and lay all the traps and run them in the mobs. It was great. Did you guys ever do that in number 2?
No.
You were never part of the Rat Covenant?
I've never played 2.
The Rat Covenant was the best, man. You could, oh man, it was glorious. You could put up, you had your own little arena that you could unlock like traps and extra mobs and all sorts of shit. It was great, man. Long live the Rat King.
That does sound pretty cool.
I think the best thing about all these games, and this is a thing that's kind of happening in my playthrough, is that like I'm doing the Sunbros thing so that I can absorb all the weird shit in the game. Like if you're really focused on gameplay, I feel like you miss some of the like stuff, or like everything just becomes something you have to kill. But like every time I run into something, I think I mentioned this to you, Steven, every time I run into something that's like fucked up and gross, like a corpse with 8 arms and a giant baby head, I'm like, well, that's a lumpkin. That's a lumpkin right there. So we're building a library of gross Steven bullshit.
Of the lumpkins. That's great. Yeah. No, I love that because like Dark Souls, the Souls games, the series of Souls, absolutely 110% major inspiration for West Marches. Definitely. Yeah. No lie. With that being said, why don't we get started?
I want some experience points.
Yeah, damn right. Okay, so what happened last time? Where did we end up? We ended up in the middle of this plain to the north of a lake that you guys were skirting as you were heading off in the direction of Great Pyranor, an ancient city that is rumored, according to some Triceratops that you guys met at the at the altar of the 3 serpents of woe.
Well, when you say it like that, it makes it sound so fucking stupid. Like, oh, what are we doing? Oh, we're following a quest. Oh, where'd you get it? A Triceratops. Yep. A nice dinosaur lady gave us this quest.
Fine. We got a quest from a Triceratops, and we spent the last episode just basically permanently inside a bottle of pink fluffy smoke, like a cloud of pink smoke.
I don't know why that is.
Oh yeah, we're the the Powerpuff squad now. The Powerpuff murder hobos.
Yep, exactly. God, that's just incredible.
Yeah, I think the last thing we did was Adam left a body dismembered and.
Oh yeah, as I was eating bread.
And I think I did like a.
Sent the air elemental. Yeah.
Yes, you sent the air elemental after the people who were pursuing you. And we saw like a little scene of the air elemental descending and wreaking havoc on the camp that was a couple days behind you and just murdering a ton of people. So I think in the morning, you know, the sun rises and there's this scene of just destruction. There's bodies flung everywhere and like half twisted around and broken legs and, you know, collarbones, and one or two of them are still like breathing, gurgling, but it's clear that they're not even alive. And in the center of this scene of carnage, like, you know, there's trees that have been uprooted and you know, just the entire field is a ruin. There are 3 people left, and one of them is bleeding from a bandage on his sort of lower left rib cage, and he's leaning heavily on a spear while a woman kneels next to him and speaks a single word of power, and you see a bright flash of glow as she places her hands next to his side. And that's what we see that morning. Back with you all. And the night does pass uneventfully. You guys have had a restful night out on the plains. Good weather. It's cool and chilly, but you guys did bring enough sort of cold weather gear and tents and things and blankets to wrap yourselves in, so you're fine. The dawn comes early, and the sun is behind you, striking against the face of the mountains. And now in the morning light, you can see that the spires of Pyranor, off 3 days distant from you, they look much smaller and less imposing than they did last night when that shadowy hand was crawling across the plain in your direction. It probably will take you about another 3 days to reach it, but it's a straight shot.
Tower always seems smaller the morning after. I thought it was bigger than this when I looked at it yesterday. Well, let's go. Let's go, team. Let's go to this city.
Steven, you want me to roll HP?
Oh, yes. Ello did level up as well. So if you are wanting to roll your hit points.
Every time.
Yes, I do.
Every time. I don't care what happens. This is going down. All right.
6, better than average. So that's 6 plus your Constitution bonus.
Thank you, D&D gods.
Yeah.
Do I have all my health back? Because I'm still at.
Yeah, if you got a long rest, you got a full rest, which means that you regain all of your health, all of your spells, and you regain half of your hit dice if you had spent any. I don't think any of you had, so should be fine. All right. So yes, so you're really just seeing you're seeing the spires of these mountains off beyond the horizon, and then at the top of some of them you're seeing towers stretching up towards the sky. But this is quite far. It's not even within the limit of your sight to the edge of the horizon. It's beyond that.
Do we get XP for the elemental killing the camp?
No, you do not. Sorry.
Okay.
You're not implicated.
Okay.
You were probably implicated, or rather, you were not implicated in that fight, and therefore you don't get XP for it. And probably for the fight with the dragon, I should have divided the XP between the players and the dragon, but I did not. So no, the elemental got a lot of XP and then returned home to his elemental plane. A much stronger.
Don't get XP, Steven.
What?
Come on.
Why not?
Because that's not how.
He's going to become an ascendant elemental.
Oh, you want to do the elemental show? I guess we can all go home.
Yep.
And
so we're going to find out
elementals.
What happens with the elemental. He returns back. There's fluffy clouds of pillory smoke that are okay.
Now I'm just imagining lumpy space princess.
Lumpy space princess, yes.
He just goes back to her castle. Is like, oh my god, I had to do the worst thing today, you guys. I feel bad for that elemental.
Yep, that's exactly what it was like. Oh my god. Oh. So, if I remember correctly from last time, it was Gallahan who were leading the party, right? Now, y'all don't actually need to roll for overland travel. You have your destination in sight. You're not going to get lost because it's just plains and hills between here and there. And you can even see from this distance a winding road that is carved up the side of the mountain. So at some point, you are going to hit this much larger thoroughfare. It's going to take you straight to the front gates. So, yeah, like, I guess unless there's anything specific that you guys want to have happen, we can just fast forward to night times and basically track down the last 3 days. What do y'all think?
I'm thinking it might be worth someone else leading purely because I can't, as athletics, I can't get food for the group.
Oh, like, I mean, you can still use the survival check and try to like slow down your roll and collect things for you.
I'm happy to just advance the night times.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should just get there, right?
Okay. Yeah, sure. So yeah, you spend the first day trekking across the land. Who's keeping watch? Like someone's directing the group, whether it's Grigori or someone else. It doesn't really matter. You're just walking towards the towers. But someone's keeping an eye out.
Who's got the highest perception?
I have 3 perception. What's the other?
I have 3 as well. Anybody got better than 3?
Sorry.
Hell to the no.
Are you proficient in, or are you trained in perception, Grigori?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So one of you can help the other, and then that person gets advantage on a perception test.
I'll help you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's make a perception roll. Perception test.
Loop. 17. Very nice.
I have 17. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, wow. What on earth? There we go. Okay. Yes. In the evening, as you're making camp, you look behind you, and as you're starting to climb into the hills here, you do actually see far behind you a camp that looks like it's just about a day behind you. A small camp, much smaller than before, just a single campfire and a single tent, but you do still see it.
Still, they're following us. We send elemental after them, we kill all their friends, I leave them nice present on road, and they still they want more from us.
Maybe they're stronger than we thought.
Yes, evidently. Or more dedicated, at least. Is a different kind of strength.
They have a lot of bodies to throw away.
Yes. Any war with Dr. Grigori is war of attrition. Maybe we should stop and have conversation with our new friends? I don't want them following us into city. It will be easy for them to hide in stinking masses.
So is this like a conversation in my terms or conversation in the doctor's terms? Like, you usually don't converse very well. And then
listen,
I look at Tilly after that.
They start last conversation with arrow shot, right? Obviously, they are not interested in Darius-style conversation.
Well, then, if that's the case, when they come up, I'm going to go hide. And you just give the signal, and I'll pop out and, return the arrow shot.
Look, they didn't even let me get my fucking trousers on, all right? So we're going to go over there, and we're going to repay that in kind.
I really didn't mind that, though.
Steady on.
This is less effective for combat. Might be easy on eyes, but not so much on Galahans. And I look at you, and I kind of make a face. And I'm like, it's better to keep clothes on for fighting. Listen, we have 2 options. We can go and have talk with them, or we wait here and make with ambush. And I look at Tilly and Darius. I'm like, I think we are having appropriate skills for ambushing.
I nod.
He nods.
Sounds good to me.
What do we see around us, Stephen? And hopefully my voice is a little bit better.
Yeah, so if you are if you're sort of camping in the hills, right? So yeah, the terrain has become a lot more rocky, and at this point I'm assuming that you're kind of talking you decided it was time to camp. You looked out behind you. You saw this camp, and now you're trying to figure out where to actually set yourselves up. So really, you guys can kind of direct and tell me what you want in the area nearby. So yeah, what do you want? You got hills. There's probably some small streams, some trees, rocky outcroppings.
Are you familiar with the Battle of Thermopylae, student? I would like some hot gates to funnel them into.
I am not, in fact, but you're looking for something that's kind of like a choke point, basically.
Yeah, I want to 300 these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Also, Callahan, if you could do this entire fight with your shirt off, that would also be primo.
Yeah, I'm just eating an apple on a rock as they come up to me. Just shirtless.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, so who's leading the search through the terrain to find this optimal battle site, basically?
Well,
Mr. 3 perception, probably.
There's no like tactic skill or whatever in this.
It would be a survival check to locate the terrain that you're looking for.
Yeah, it's like setting a trap. I got a +5 to survival. It's like my best skill. So
that's pretty fucking good.
Oh,
survival, insight, and medicine are all really good. So I could roll that if somebody else has survival train that could help me.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I got 3 for survival.
Do you have it trained? So we've been doing a thing in the past where it's like one person wants to do a thing, another person says I'll help, and then you just automatically get advantage. So now I think what I want to do is I want to have one person be the roller, and then someone else can automatically grant advantage if they are trained. Right.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, totally makes sense. I think that's kind of how we do it.
Define trained.
You should have the check marked.
There's a little checkbox or a plus sign next to it.
Oh, yeah. So if it has a plus, then it's trained.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
yes, my survival is trained.
Perfect. Okay. So you can give it Grigori advantage on his check.
Before I make the check though, I'm gonna rock that cantrip that gives me a bonus to my roll.
Right on.
Guidance. Yeah. So guidance allows me to roll a d4 and add that to the check. So it's going to be good. So I ask the dark powers for guidance in setting this trap for laying it for our enemies, and that I will dedicate whatever bloodshed is to come to them. And I roll, and then I get a 21, and then I add another 4 to it. I got 25. It's the best ambush the world has ever seen.
Basically. So yeah, you reach out to your god, and are you like specifically communing with your god, or are you just reaching out to like a dark pantheon, or what?
I feel like Grigori is sort of anti-dogmatic in that he has no conception of, and I've got flashback fodder for this for later, but basically like I just want to he knows that something out there gives him favor when he does violent and terrible things, and so he's like, whoever is watching over me, whatever grim power lets me throw spells around and do all that shit, this one's for you, baby.
Nice. Yeah, so
it's like if somebody asked me who my god was or like anything like that, I'd just be like, ugh.
I don't know. Yeah, you speak the words and you open yourself the way that you know to these dark powers, and you feel this thrum in response from deep within the earth, and it fills you with an unexpected surge of power, and you just know from looking at the lay of the land that a few hills up and over, all of the terrain is going to become jagged and rugged, and there's going to be a small channel running through sort of rock walls that opens up into a wider area. And
I think I stop at this point because Gallahan and I are like looking, and I say to him, like kind of like out of the blue, like we're walking around looking and kind of making note of the situation. I stop and I put my hand and I'm like, here, this is where it will be. This will be our slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
And I look back and I'm like, we'll hide the rogues there, and I like we kind of start talking about like where to hide people.
Gallahan kind of gives he's like, I knew that. Like, I was gonna say the same thing.
I'm already climbing to the hiding spot because I already know where I should be.
Now, Stephen, I've never played a rogue before, so as far as trap setting is concerned, what sort of goes into that?
You'd have to like. I don't think there's any like just trap setting skill, but if you have mechanisms, if you have some sort of a setup that you want to do and you have the tools at hand, there'd probably be some sort of a sleight of hand check or something to like set it all up correctly and make sure that it'll get triggered, and then maybe a stealth check to make sure you can hide it properly.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
So based off the materials that I have, if I can come up with something sort of clever as a trap.
Yeah. Let's see.
No trap.
No trap. Oh, come on. All right, fine. So y'all are up there.
Sorry. Some people in chat were asking too. I took the thief archetype. I don't think it's by any means the strongest, but I think it's the most in line with what Tilly does. So.
Oh, you're a thief and not an assassin?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
It was that assassin, which, you know, you already are, and I don't really feel like falls under Tilly necessarily. And then Arcane Trickster, which seemed weird that all of a sudden Tilly would just start casting spells. So yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean that kind of thing happens all the time though. Like when you level up and you're like, oh, I suddenly know how to do a thing I couldn't do 5 minutes ago.
But you could roleplay it like as it randomly happening too. Like
I'm sure, you know, I could find ways to justify it, right? But it just feels weird.
Thief is great for sneaking and stealing and all that shit. So
you can sneak up and take their weapons, and then I'll shoot them in the face.
So what I'm thinking, like tactically here, is that we're kind of like Darwining these people. So what we're gonna get, albeit like potentially weakened, though, because everybody recovers all their hit points when they rest, they're gonna have like full HP and everything, but they're gonna be a little beleaguered. We're gonna get the best of them, right? Like whoever's left, whoever survived the attack is gonna be their strongest, toughest dudes. So we want to like kind of lure them into a position where they can't see the two of you, so y'all can rain down sneak attacks. If someone is capable of casting spells, like if somebody obviously looks like a cleric or a wizard, if we see somebody in robes or with like a magic looking staff or whatever, I'm going to drop. Actually, Steven, this is a good question. Can we put them, can we set up the ambush in a position where the path is narrow enough that from wall to wall it's no more than like 20 feet?
So are you looking at what I'm looking at?
I am. I'm curious about measurements on this bad boy.
Yeah, so each square here is 5 feet.
Fuck
so
yeah,
you've got this nice narrow spot where you're funneling them through.
So we want to keep them in that spot, because what I'm gonna do as soon as I get a chance is drop a silence spell into that area, which means, Gallahan, if you need to activate your, I don't know how Ophidian works, but I assume that you need to be able to say it like out loud. Like it's not just making the words with your mouth that does it. So you want to do that before you go into the silence sphere. Because then we can block them in that area and keep them engaged, and they won't be able to cast spells, which is really what we want. But I'm going to need to stay out of that 20-foot area. But if it's only like a 20-foot radius, then we should be fine. I'll stay back.
What stipulation should I uncork the bottle if things start looking wrong, or what?
I wonder about that.
Tactically,
because I
think we should keep the cork on the bottle.
Yeah,
the bottle. The bottle's useful. It's a good line of sight. Like throw a fire. Coincidentally hit us. I don't know. It's a gamble.
I didn't hear any of that, Adam, because Skype completely
froze for like a good solid 3 seconds.
Yeah,
so you were saying about that area and throwing a fireball down in there.
So, okay. And maybe this is like a requirement that I make like an arcane check or something, but like my thought here is, if you can't see the target, like with a fire, I'm concerned about AoE stuff. Do you need to be able to see the point from which the AoE comes? Like if you're blind to that spot, can you still cast a spell in there?
Let me take a look at what Fireball says, and I'll give you a ruling on that. Fireball.
I have no wish to make like every combat as complicated as possible with this gas, right? So, but at the same time, I don't want to win.
We want to win.
Yeah, we want to win. Exactly.
What if you put it in the choke point where like they first enter, and so when they're coming out, we'll just already be ready and aiming. So as soon as they step out, they'll have just a barrage of attacks.
Well, here's the thing: is the smoke grows. So it's going to reach a point where we just get engulfed by, like, I don't want to use it, period, for this fight. Unless I don't see a point.
I would say
we already have a great ambush set up. We don't like fuck ourselves over with the smoke bomb.
No, that's what I'm saying is I just want to know, you know, I don't want to uncork it. I think it makes combat really complicated and
right, but I would rather win a complicated fight than lose a simple one. And it's not It's not part of our job to make Steven's job easier. We just play by the rules. And
although we might live longer if we do.
The thing about the cork is that it also makes you all less effective. Yeah. So from my perspective as a third-party observer, like it makes fights longer, it makes you safer, but it also makes your enemies safer. So it's like a good thing when it's like, oh no, we're really in some deep shit. You can pop the cork, use it as your like getaway mechanism. That's really easy and safe. But if you're trying to like do damage on your side, popping the cork will make that a lot harder.
Oh no,
so something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I was just thinking like if I'm in trouble, you know, if you guys see the cork go off, Tilly's in some shit. Okay, so
we'll use it as our escape plan. And then
that's
later
what I was gonna say. Just use it as
later when we get an attack helicopter, it can be used as a signal for the bombing run. But for now, yeah, let's use it to kind of hide.
Yep.
So what I'm thinking is, they're obviously Gallahan, you're going to be the one that attracts their attention, right? They want to get at you. Now, if you're in the middle square of one of these 3 square wide hallway areas, like in our hut gates, no one can pass you without you getting free shots on them because you threaten all the squares around you. Mm-hmm. And at worst, you'll have, I guess, I mean, you could get surrounded, but you have 3 squares in front of you need to like protect, basically, that you're going to be engaging with targets. Now, I can stay behind you and I can like buff and heal you while you fight.
And then we just put the rogues up on the rocks, right?
And if we put them up on the rocks, they can shoot down. Is there like a penalty, or no? It's good shooting into melee, right? Like you get advantage shooting at someone who's engaged.
If they're, I think it's just if they're within range of an ally.
I think it's just sneak attack that she gets for shooting at someone who's engaged with a target.
Either way, every shot that the 2 of you take should be a sneak attack, basically. Yeah. Like we want to do as much damage as fast as possible. We have to all focus whatever the most like scary target is. My concern is that we're gonna have like a round or so as the when the caster realizes that they can that they're silenced, they're going to try to back out of the silence, which hopefully will give you a free shot or we'll be able to take them out. Focus the healer or the caster, and you'll just have to, I guess this is the thing, you'll just have to tank their strongest fighter until we get the caster down, then we'll focus on them.
If I can keep going back into stealth, though, can't I? Well, if I can get into stealth, doesn't that give me a sneak attack if I pop out and hit someone?
Silence will help you with a sneak attack, too, if you have to get in there.
Okay, because I can just keep trying to pop out in and out of stealth if no one's near you guys, or someone's not near you guys, like a caster.
Yeah. Cool.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so why don't you guys put your markers, which are on the map here, wherever you want them to be. So you guys should all be at full health, so anybody who has anything on them can just take it right off.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wait, where? I don't. Okay, I'm gonna be on these rocks right there.
So can you give us an idea? What's the gray thing and what's the X's?
So there are these big sort of brown sides of these clay cliffs that are rugged and sort of funnel down into this narrow passage. And then high up above, there are these basalt rocks that are jutting out over top of this passageway. So that's what these gray things are. And then these little brown tan X's, that's like scrub brush that's up on the top there. It's difficult terrain. Someone could probably duck down it and be pretty hard to see. So that's what's going on. So you all are heading, this should actually all be rotated 90 degrees, but whatever. So you all are heading in the up direction on this, which is to the west. And they'll be coming from the down direction on this, which is to the east.
You should let me be on this one, Tilly. And then you be on the other one.
Okay.
So I'll be the first person to attack them, I guess. So.
Cool. Well, you want me to be the first person.
Okay, then I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah.
So then they're engaged.
I have a question. How far away are they? First of all.
So they're out of your sight at this point. Like you guys are finding this site.
Because how long do we have?
You've got a day, basically. Okay. They're a day behind you.
And what's the local like foliage situation like? Just like scrub brush, or are there any trees around?
There are trees, yeah, sparse trees here and there, or little copses and things like that.
Okay. I have a like a woodsman's axe. I kind of want to cut down a tree.
Okay.
I'm kind of thinking that if we can lure them into because my concern is having them flee and us having to chase them, because that's when the ambush comes apart, right? I would love to just like push a tree down, or have one of the rogues push a tree down to block the way once they're past it, so we can trap them, so that the Gallahan has them between the log and the sharp place, so they can't get away, and then you can just cut them up.
Definitely. Now, if you're just talking about like a single tree's trunk, that'd be difficult terrain to hop over, but it wouldn't necessarily stop them unless, I don't know, you'd have some work to do to make it be a serious blocker. But I think you could probably figure something out. So tell me.
I mean, so my thought is whatever will block the way so that they can't escape, whether that's a tree or whether I collapse part of the ground.
How about this? You have the same AC that I do.
Yeah.
So you could very easily hide in. How do I ping?
Just click and hold. Yeah.
You can hide in these bushes, and then as they come up to me, you could jump down behind them, and then they're trapped.
Yeah, people tend to fight more desperately when they're trying to get away from something scary than trying to get at something scary, and I don't want to be on the tail end of their like fleeing. It's like trying to trap.
You're gonna have you and Darius and Tilly behind them, and just me in front of them. So.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the path of least resistance will be the one they try to push through. If I'm behind you and there's a physical barrier behind them, then I can support you and keep you healed while you chop them up, right? Because we want to funnel them into a hard wall.
I don't know how practical like chopping down 4 trees is, and.
Well, we have all day, and I guess that's my question to Steven is like, given the stuff that we have around and my survival skill of 15, can I conceivably come up with something that I could push down and collapse on them, whether it's like a bunch of rocks, and I have stuff. I have rope. I could like weave a net. Like we have a whole day. So
make a survival check.
Okay, I know how to trap.
If you want me to tell you what I would accept as working, then you have to check.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna use Grigori's like better than mine survival knowledge to try to figure this out. Like Gallahan and I think are talking this out, so I assume Gallahan's able to help me.
Yes.
Okay, so same roll as before. Guidance. I got a
13.
I have 14 this time.
14. Yeah. Like maybe a couple of tree trunks if you had more than one, and like tied them together or something, and like slid them down there. Right. Like making some sort of a big door basically that you can like swing down, or just like have someone sort of like shove down behind them. That would create a bigger barrier. And that's kind of the best Grigori comes up with when he's sitting and, thinking on his own, stroking his delicious Russian beard.
I asked the group if anybody has a shovel.
Yes, I think I am having a shovel. Let me look at the character sheet. I do indeed. Yes.
I suggest to the group that we dig some holes, and maybe do some punji sticks or punji sticks or whatever. If we've got a full day, I think we could probably reasonably dig a few holes and put some sharp sticks at the bottom and then cover them up. But on top of that, we could put circles all through this, like just circles of leaves. Some of them be traps, some of them not, just to kind of ruin their day and make them a little bit more aware of what's going on.
So I'll spend my day chopping down trees to make some kind of like tree rock barrier thing that we can have one of you, cut the rope and have it all tumble down in. If you want to take the branches from the trees that I'm cutting down and make those into stakes, and then dig up a pit. Maybe Darius can help dig. And then
question, am I gonna be the one that's like pushing these trees down like to block their exit if they try to turn around and run? Because I'm gonna be the one that's in the back.
Yeah, you won't be pushing it. We're gonna make it so that I don't want it to be a strength situation. I want it to just be you cut a rope, and then because we have all the logs like pulled up with rope, and then you cut it. fall down.
My question is, can I then spend some time to like wrap an arrow therefore I could set it on fire and set the logs on fire once it falls? So we could have a fire wall instead of just 2 logs or 2 trees.
You have to like coat them in oil or something.
Yeah, doing something like that. Like the trees probably wouldn't catch on fire because they're freshly cut down. But if you coated them in oil, they would burn for a long enough to make a pretty impressive barrier behind you.
Yeah, I have torches, not a lantern.
I don't have any oil on me now.
I have oil. I have 2 flasks.
Oh, okay, perfect.
All right, yeah.
All right, so in the shopping list of trap shit, we've got the rock and log collapsing barrier that'll fall in behind them as we get them in there. We have now. Where do you want to put those pit traps? Because the thing is, whatever the first thing, like if they send a scout and the scout falls in the pit, then they won't get lured into the funnel.
It might like ruin the ambush a little bit.
Thought about pit traps, just so you know, it's probably going to take one person a full 8 hours of work to dig a 10-foot deep pit. Like that would be pretty deep.
I mean, we don't need them to fall in so they can't get out. We just need them to stumble in so they fall face down on a bunch of spikes. They only need to be like a couple of feet deep.
Yep. So you could probably
shallow pit trap.
Each person with a shovel could probably dig 2 5-foot by 5-foot by 5-foot pits with spikes.
We can do it after the second basalt whatever this is jutting out from the side where I'm actually at. We can put it past that point, and like I said, some of them can be real, some of them can be fake. So if we want to do it right past that point, I think that. Oh wait, this isn't going to be blocking off view from below, is it? Yeah. Okay.
So what I was thinking is like we could theoretically put the traps as an insurance policy behind us, so that if we need to fall back and they chase us, then they fall in the pits. It's going to be like laying a minefield, right? Like we're going to be lucky if they walk over them, but we can make it, because we know where they are, we can make it easier to make that happen. Like if someone's chasing me, we can have them
side of me.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
so that I can engage, but they can't get past me.
Or if they try.
We can do 2 5-foot pits either side of me, and then.
Yeah, I like that idea. Well, why don't we do that? So we'll have Gallahan stay in the middle, and we'll make some traps to the sides of him. And I think that's good.
I think the other thing is that like we can't just have Gallahan standing out in the open, because as soon as they get here and they see you, they're gonna be like, oh, this is a fucking ambush for sure. So Gallahan and I, while not having to be stealthy necessarily, we just need to stay out of line of sight.
We just stay around here, yeah.
Yeah, and then as they come in, then Darius, you cut the logs, drop the thing behind them. Gallahan, you can rush them. Tilly, you can start taking shots, and then we'll just smush them in the gate. Now it's dependent on our initiative going well, because we want to hit them before their mage or cleric or caster of some kind gets off a spell, if we can tell which one it is. But I'm pretty confident that our initiative, because between me and Darius, like I think we'll probably be okay.
Do I have to? My question is, so I'm hoping I get like really good initiative, like as in one of the first. So if I do that, do I have to spend my whole turn just cutting the rope, or can I actually shoot?
For me, I feel like cutting a rope is a bonus action. You got a sharp dagger, you can just and then draw your arrow and thunk.
Okay. Because I'm gonna want to.
Although your arrow, you want to be setting the logs on fire, right, with your action?
I think the first one I would use.
Don't set the logs on fire until someone's trying to climb over them.
Yeah,
right?
No. Like, my first arrow, I want to use it to like hit their caster with an assassinate.
Yeah. We want to kill them, and then when they're like, oh no, we have to flee, and they try to climb the logs, then we light the logs on fire, and they're like, oh no, I'm on fire, and they turn around and run, and they're like, oh no, a paladin and some pit traps. We don't want to play fair. We want to cheese them as bad as we can so that we win.
It's a dirty fight.
Yeah.
This is a dirty fight.
This is what you normally do to us, Stephen.
Absolutely. It's fun to turn that around, isn't it? Okay, so let's see. How many people are digging pit traps? Is it just Ella?
I mean, I think Gallahan can dig one, and Tilly can dig the other.
I gotta wrap an arrow, so once I'm done with wrapping an arrow, I'm just gonna go dig with the rest.
Okay. So
I'm gonna take off my shirt first and flex a little bit.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of like shirtless wood chopping going on.
Yep. Yeah, no,
and
totally.
I'm totally
the
not
sun
taking
is glistening.
breaks and, looking at everybody else. But Tilly.
Slow motion pouring water on ourselves. It's gonna be
Tilly's like obviously trying very hard not to look at anyone with a shirt off, but she's sneaking peeks every now and then,
She's just flushed all day.
Yeah.
We take a break for lunch in a flexing contest.
Yeah.
Get caught unawares and nobody has arm bra.
It's like the West Marches equivalent of the bikini car wash, only with like a bunch of shirtless adventurers.
It's just a shirtless montage.
I can see like Callahan, they're like
lifting a log.
Yeah. Oh.
That's exactly what this is. All right, so everybody who's digging pits, if you're digging pits, roll a athletics check for me.
I'm going to assume that you two are going to be digging the pits and I'm going to be sharpening the sticks because little Tilly's not going to get very far with a shovel in the ground.
We only have one shovel, I think. So it'd be like I would go.
I dug one. There you go. All right. I don't know. I was too busy staring at Gallahan, I guess.
Nice. Fortunately, Gallahan was incredibly effective.
Dang. I stepped aside and let him finish it. I got to wrap this arrow instead.
Yeah. Eyes on the job, Darius.
I have to go wrap an arrow. Okay.
Cool, that dig.
All this digging really makes me have to go play with some wood real quick.
I have to go polish my sword. Excuse me.
I'll be back.
Terrible. All right, Gallahan, point out where you're digging your 3 pits. Between the two of you, Darius and Gallahan, dig 3 pits.
I thought we were digging 2.
You got 3 by the contributions of your team members. So.
Okay. Well, I don't need 3. We're gonna put 1 there, and 1 there.
Where's
like
that? Yep. Sure. Mm-hmm. And then where's your 3rd? Where are you putting it?
I mean, fuck if I know.
What about right
I don't want
here?
to put it anywhere that I might accidentally fall in. Is the thing.
Well, we know where it is.
Okay,
So
you'll know where it is.
Right here? What about right here?
The
like
only
that?
so I'm gonna
like
the only chance that you're gonna have to accidentally stumble into a pit, don't put it directly behind you in case you get a fear spell or something cast on you, in which case you're forced to run directly away. And then this way, if you do get, like, say you're here, right? If we do get attacked, and you need to run, you can run this way and then diagonal, so they chase you across the pit.
Yeah.
And so you can run around, and then potentially they fall in that pit.
Okay, cool. So you got 3 pits set up. We've got who's chopping down the tree?
This guy.
Cool. Yeah, give me an athletics check.
Okay, it's a good thing I'm so strong. Let's see, athletics. And of course guidance, because the gods want me to kill, and God forbid I make a roll without guidance.
That's a cantrip, right? 22. Yeah. Awesome.
Anytime I have to do busy work, basically I guidance it because it's a cantrip I can do over and over, and
definitely. So, yeah, you fell 3 trees nearby, and then towards the end of the day, you get the rest of your party to help you drag them into place. You chop off all the branches, sharpen them. Yeah. Nice. So you get this big, thick, like oaken door built out of 3 tree trunks, all tied together. Who's sacrificing their rope to tie these trees together?
I've got rope. How much? I have 50 feet. How many feet does it take? It's
going to take all 50 to tie 3 tree trunks into a big slab. Yeah. Right. Okay, cool. So map and background, we'll put that. Are you trying to hide it?
I figure I hide it behind the basalt thingamajig, right? Like,
so it'll be like up here. Yeah.
Yeah, I want it to fall in this way and block off that pathway. So once they get to kind of to Tilly, then it falls in there. Yeah.
Very nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's when I cut them off.
Yep.
Is that a log?
That's a log. Yeah, look at my great drawings. Very nice. Okay, pit traps, logs with oil. Was there anything else that y'all wanted to do? You got the spikes down in the pit traps.
Just kill them. That's what I want to do. That's all.
All right,
that's the last
very
thing.
Cool.
Yeah, Gallahan's getting antsy. Okay, so let's make sure that you are. Yeah, what's your movement rate, Gallahan?
30 is good.
Yeah, so 30 is good. Okay. Now, do you want to be here, right? Not in between the pits, because if you're there, then the worst you can get is 1 person on you. But if you're standing between them, there's 3 that can attack you.
Yeah. Although I'm of the mind that there's one warrior and one wizard, so it's going to be a situation where I'm fighting one guy anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, but we gotta prepare for more. There might still be some stragglers and folks that like lead the front line. The other thing we might want to be aware of is that they tend to send scouts, and if we get a scout, we really need to ice that dude before they get back to their friends, because
if they just send one in, can't I just like pop a
assassin.
fire off and kill him, and then Tilly can follow lead after I pop out?
That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, so if that happens, if I just see one dude roll up, I'm just gonna pop out and kill him as soon as he gets within like the pit range or something.
So
just wait for him to walk past you, basically.
Yeah. So let me set the scene here. The sun is setting, and you all can see maybe 1,000 feet away, a kilometer or something like that, 1,000 meters, a kilometer away. You see the smoke from a cook fire starting to rise on the horizon. It's not a day away, right? It's probably 10 minutes walk or something like that. But clearly they've called their evening here. Are you guys, Darius, Tilly, are you sleeping up on top of this place? Gallahan, Grigori, where are you sleeping? Do you set a campfire for the evening? What's the plan?
I was assuming that I would make myself very small up here, as small as I can, and just kind of huddle up and wait to see what happens, unless they have a different plan.
Yeah. Can I move, like, say, 150 feet north? Start a campfire and then come back.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
you could even throw some of the green leaves from the tree on it to make it smoke more if you wanted.
Yeah.
So the thing here is that if you're within 30 feet of me, you get the benefits of my warning hammer.
And I have alert, so I probably.
And you've got alert. You get that built in.
So I'm basically starting this fire so that they see our fire, and then
they think it's further.
They're like, well, they're only 10 minutes away, so maybe we should sneak up on these goons. So I'm gonna start this campfire and get back to the pass.
Okay, I think that sounds pretty good.
Okay. So let's see. Darius, Tilly, you are both up on top of these spars of rock, settling in for the night. Gallahan, Grigori are just around the corner, settling in.
We got our back pressed against the cliffside there.
Tell me about sleeping in armor.
You get exhausted, don't you?
It's one night, so why don't you tell us about the rules, and then we can make an informed decision about that.
Yeah.
That's fine. Let's figure out what it actually costs you to sleep in armor.
Just one night.
Armor.
Player's handbook doesn't say anything in the armor section.
Yeah, that's what I was going to look for.
Player's handbook just says like armor class, how long it takes to put the armor on. I'm
going to look at long rest. But I think probably there's nothing here. So I think what it's going to take is it's going to just be a Constitution saving throw, and if you fail it, and it's going to be harder based on the heaviness of the armor, and if you fail it, then you gain a level of exhaustion, and that'll be it. So let's see. It's a DC 8 Constitution saving throw if you're sleeping in light armor, 10 for medium, 12 for heavy.
Okay.
And the first level of exhaustion, let me tell you what that does so you can make that informed decision as well. The first level of exhaustion gives you disadvantage on ability checks.
Okay, so not attack rolls.
No, explicitly not attack rolls.
Okay. So that's it. The worst thing that can happen if we fail is non-attack roll related, non-saving throw related, like skill shit.
Yep.
So
like
we're okay. Yes, stealth is an ability check, so
yes.
Yeah.
I don't really have any ability checks.
Exactly. No, you and I are just going to be casting spells and chopping shit up.
I might have to stealth.
Let me see if I have anything that I can do to help with buffing at least that check if you need to make it.
I mean, light armor takes a minute to put on?
Yeah, doesn't it only take a minute?
But remember,
to
a minute is six rounds in combat,
10,
right?
Right,
10
but
rounds.
like,
right, it's 10.
If these guys are up on the rocks and we're gonna mute the wizard, then they could pretty much fight naked.
I mean, yeah,
I
like
prefer
they're
to.
trying to stay. Until he's just taking your armor
Darius
off.
would prefer you fight naked too. It's cool.
So let me see. Oh, I have a cantrip. I can give you both resistance, so it gives you an extra D4 to the saving throws of your choice. So I'm like giving you the like good night lullaby or whatever. If you want to sleep in your armor, you get a bonus to that save. So it's on you guys. Like disadvantage on a stealth check sucks a lot. Stealth is a big deal for y'all, but so is armor class in case you get attacked. Hopefully Gallahan will be able to draw aggro, but in case they have scouts or someone tries to flank you, you're going to want those extra points, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Ello's been rolling baller HP, but if we can prevent you from losing your armor class, that would be awesome. Then I can focus on keeping Gallahan healed and not saving your butts.
I think I'm going to keep my armor on because I don't want to lose, just in case they like end up on the rocks or something. There's no way I want to be without armor.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna sleep in the armor.
All right, so y'all both make the con save, and then you can roll a d4 and add it to whatever you get.
Now y'all are both wearing light armor. You're both wearing leather, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's DC 8.
And I think my spell, I think the resistance spell is literally like a lullaby. Like I'm playing my balalaika and I'm singing some like restful sleep song, in my language. But there you go, y'all are good. You don't even need it.
I did a saving throw. My bad.
No, it is a saving throw.
It was a saving throw. Yeah.
Oh, I did an ability check.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a saving throw.
It's actually the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, do you want me to roll too?
If you're sleeping in armor, yes. Okay, Gallahan, you're fine.
Awesome.
And Grigori?
I am going to also roll, yeah. Let me get the character sheet here. My armor is medium, so it's what, 12?
12. No, 10.
10. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Is your armor medium now?
Yeah, I've got my magic chainmail.
Chainmail?
Or is chain heavy? No, it's medium. Yeah.
Chain shirt is medium, chainmail is heavy.
What's the armor class then?
Armor class of chainmail is 16, chain shirt is 13 plus dex.
Okay. So it is heavy. Okay, so the difficulty is 12?
12, yeah.
Okay. Let's see here.
It's just not comfortable.
Sure. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's
yeah,
fine.
all right. So Grigori, in the morning,
I'm exhausted.
You do wake up and you're not feeling so great. You got that penalty to your
I'm not gonna make
checks.
ability checks. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, what's the order for watches?
I guess maybe I should take last. Like,
well, hold on. Are we making these checks for the whole night? Because someone isn't gonna have to make a check if something happens at night, right? Because they didn't sleep.
Right. Yeah. I know. I just want to see. Yeah, like you won't be penalized by your exhaustion until the morning.
Okay.
Right. But I want to know what the order for watches are.
Yeah.
I think
Darius
Tilly and I should take the last two. So Tilly goes before me, and then I take the last.
Okay. Grigori or Gallahan, which of you's first?
I'll take. Well, I mean,
you guys should wake up if you hear me cut the rope to the logs.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, if there's any danger at all, I wake up instantly, and so does Gallahan.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I've lit this fire, so I don't know. Like we're anticipating them to come over at night. So why would we sleep?
Yeah, but you don't know when.
I'll take first watch. Doc can take second watch.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to make some rolls, chat, and you're going to be able to see the rolls that I make. And then when we come back, I will interpret those rolls for everybody. So, let's see. Tilly and Darius, I'm assuming they're trying to be hidden.
Correct.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me, please.
I'm gonna guidance
them
when you hide.
That sounds great. 21.
So
Darius, roll
a d4.
Roll 1d4. Yeah.
The dark gods are helping hide you. Fucking right.
Right.
Holy
Oh my God.
Tilly,
And
roll
Tilly.
a d4.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're hidden.
Hold on.
Yeah, you are mad hidden. 25 and 25.
25.
25s.
Perfect.
Okay, so here's the first roll. Very interesting. And here's the second roll. Very interesting. All right, so let's go to our first break, and when we come back, we will hear whether or not I have been coming up with a terrible plan to completely take apart this party's preparation, or maybe as a result of the rolls that I have just rolled, everything will go very well for these players. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere.